Hi everyone, I'm Sarah. I decided to do my research on raising a cross-cultural child, and I researched the benefits, some of the hardships or the disadvantages, and how we do this. So the first would be committing to yourself and to your children that you want to teach your children to appreciate, communicate, and interact with people across different cultures and in other countries. Um, as children become adults, they're going to need these skills and apply these skills, whether it's going off to college or going into the workforce. They're going to need these skills to interact with anybody. And so, how we do it is another question. And it's not very difficult, but it does require a little bit of a shift in thinking. Understanding what a global mindset is and why it's important, and committing to that and helping your kids develop it is really important. So I found the definition of a global mindset, and it is defined as the ability to work successfully across cultures. And basically, giving your children and teaching them the ability to interpret diverse situations, giving the information and facts while being an empathetic team player is really important. Giving them the passion and curiosity that allows them to enjoy the cultural diversity that we all share. It's really important to start young and just build that up with them at a young age so that they always keep that with them. Something else really important is encouraging the development of skills critical to cross-cultural competence. So really, global awareness begins with the basics that every parent can teach a child. And that would be patience and the ability to wait and watch before rushing to conclusions or decisions, and having clear links to global success. That's identified as one of the top skills, being crucial to having a global mindset. Another really important skill is being able to be curious and having the ability to question things. It's really important for children to know that it's okay to ask questions and to be interested in other cultures. And giving them that opportunity to ask questions and be curious is really important. But also teaching them to carefully listen and observe is really important as well. Learning about other cultures, children may gain a lot of information, and being able to observe and listen and really think about the information that they're getting is important. Teaching them empathy and flexibility are also identified as important global skills in having an important global mindset. And encouraging independence and calculated risk taking by, allowing the children to know that it's okay to go out and explore other cultures. Providing a solid ground in your home culture is also very important, because in order for children to be comfortable in the world, they first must be comfortable in their own home. So having a solid foundation for which to explore the world is really important. Yeah, that's basically just having a strong grounding in one's home culture. It enables the interpretation of another cultural in comparison to one's own, and allows them to be more comfortable outside in other cultures once they're comfortable inside their own home. It's really important when raising a cross-cultural child to make learning a second language a priority, or more than two languages a priority. Learning a language, it's more than just communicating. It's helping us learn about other cultures, and creates all these bonds and allows children to appreciate and understand the differences in interacting with people from other cultures. Ways to do this is just to take advantage of the resources that you have, whether it's going to the library or reading books, having maps, magazines, anything like that. And having fun with it is really important. And I don't think a lot of people, I would consider that a top priority, but allowing the children to enjoy the global food and the music and the books, the art, all that types of stuff. they're still learning, and it's still really important to give them that information and that chance to explore. So another way to do that would be traveling with your children. It's very educational, and you can have a lot of fun with it at the same time. So I then came across a journal that was written by a woman who wanted to have children with her husband, who was from another culture, and she sat down with him and wrote out some questions that they needed to consider thinking about before having a child. The first one was giving a child medicine for pain. Some countries really don't like doing this, and other countries or cultures do. So it's really important to decide what you're going to do and what ethics and morals you are going to follow with your partner before having a child, because otherwise I think there could be some issues. Deciding what religion a child will be raised in, and deciding, things like what age the child is going to begin preschool. Are they going to skip preschool and go straight to kindergarten? Are they going to have eating or sleeping schedules? The types of limits that you're going to set for toddlers. Some cultures believe in almost no limits, and others cultures believe in many. So those are a few. Some others were activities that mothers should do with their children. Are they going to engage them in a lot of educational, educational stuff like that, or are they going to take them to the park and take them to do other activities? Who's going to stay home with the child? Is it okay for the mother to go out by herself while the father watches the child, or vice versa? It seems logical that it would be fine, but sometimes it's not. Some cultures believe that the mother strictly stays home and takes care of the child and takes the child wherever she may go. And that's just something that you would need to talk about with your partner if you were thinking about raising a cross-cultural child. And along with that would go what role the father would have. Would it be changing diapers or taking walks with the child, giving baths, or would he do nothing? There's other questions you need to ask, like what languages you're going to have your child speak at home. Are they going to be bilingual? Are they only going to learn one language and kind of be familiar with the other but not speak it at home? And things like that. Where would the child sleep? Some cultures it's very important that the child sleeps in the parent's room, while in others, children may have their own room much sooner. So those are all questions to think about before just deciding to have a child in a cross-cultural home and environment. And kind of the benefits now we're going to move on to an expanded awareness of the world. That is one of the biggest benefits of raising a cross-cultural child. They're more open and educated on the rest of the world and not just their tiny culture and what their ethics and morals are and what they do, but kind of what the world is as a whole and what other cultures do and how we can or do become one. Obviously, learning 2 languages is a benefit, and studies have shown that it increases brain stimulation in other areas as well. It creates a more creative education, I guess you could say. There's many educational environments, and they're able to learn about geography, but also travel and do those types of things to learn about different cultures. Let's see. Some other things. I did come across one study, and I would like to share that as kind of the wrap-up of my presentation. The study was with immigrant parents from various countries. And so one study showed that with immigrant parents, after being exposed to the child-centered culture of the US and Canada, they become less authoritative, more permissive, and report greater involvement in their children's lives. And with longer residence in North America, immigrant parents develop more open communication with their children. They adopt new strategies such as reasoning and negotiation, and they grant more power to their children. In another study, it showed that in the families of Russian immigrants married to native Israelis, Russian immigrant parents in the study were guided by the Soviet pedagogy that values respect for age and discipline, setting limits, and an investment in studies and future career. While Russian parents in Israel emphasize that children behave politely, have good manners, respect adults and not talk back to them, study hard, and strive for learning. The Israeli-born parents consider these practices as obsolete. So kind of they encourage the development of creativity, self-expression, independence, freedom of decision, and risk-taking in children. And those qualities were accompanied by disrespect for authority and avoidance of hard work. So it really depends on the cultures. I think it's important to have those questions, such as what religion and what types of schedules these children are going to have. It's important to think about those before deciding to have a child. And yeah, so I think it's really cool and really interesting. And raising a cross-cultural child may be challenging, but there's definitely benefits to it. So thank you guys for watching. Bye.